Hello and welcome to the Dressing Room Debrief. And today we're going to look at Chelsea's 3-1 abysmal defeat at the Emirates to Arsenal. Um, yeah, that was one of the worst performances I've ever witnessed in my life. Literally 30 odd minutes in, and we're 3-0 down against Arsenal, which is, a London derby. You thought the players would be up for it, but literally it was the complete opposite. It was disgraceful, honestly. There's so many words you can use to describe that in a negative manner. Half the players looked like they weren't interested. The Chelsea fans turned up, but the players didn't. Literally, half the end was going home when the third goal went in. But credit where credit's due, the only bright spark of that performance yesterday was the Chelsea fans. Those that stayed must have been singing the Solomon Kalou song for about 30 minutes continuously, and it was brilliant. The Emirates, as usual, was quite quiet for a team that's, high flying at the top of the table, and at the demise of teams like ourselves that are doing shocking. You would have thought they would have been a bit more, a bit more boisterous. But yeah, I thought the Chelsea fans were great. I thought they had an answer for everything that the Arsenal fans sung to them. But it's not hard when you've won the European Cup twice and the other team haven't, and you've won it all and the other team haven't. But yeah, back to the performance. I thought it was lethargic. I thought it was passive. I thought they were just about 5 yards behind every Arsenal player. There was no energy. The players looked like they just couldn't care. And I mean, the worst thing for me is that as a human being with emotions, when you're playing football and you're 3-0 down and you're getting absolutely smashed by the other team, there is something in you that won't take it. And some people react with that with anger. Some people, would be aggressive. Some people would be pretty pissed off, to be honest. But what I saw from the Chelsea players was the complete opposite. It looked like, we're only losing 3-0, we're only losing again, we're only losing for the, umpteenth time in a row. And they just couldn't care. And that's why something's got to change, because you just can't take defeat after defeat after defeat without just showing something. It was abysmal. They looked like they just couldn't care. And they're getting paid a lot of money to play football. And the Chelsea fans follow this team everywhere. And we've had 4 managers, if you include the interim this season, and it's been absolutely shocking. From the board all the way to the bottom, it's just been an absolute, pardon my French, shit show, to be honest. The fact that Mason Mount was being considered to be sold by the board until managers they've interviewed for the upcoming job, so they must keep him at all costs. I just can't believe it. Shows the lack of knowledge about one of the best players that we've got at the club, and one that actually cares, one that's grown up for the system. You're trying to get rid of him for money when he's one of the foundations to this team succeeding. I just think it's an absolute joke. I think the fact that we've bought some players for Tuchel and he's been sacked, I think is another joke. Obviously, question marks. I will always support Frank, but there's some question marks under his team selection, particularly when Mudryk came on again and was really, bright. He was direct. Him and Noni were really bright. I thought Noni had a great game, but it said it all when there was a point down the right-hand side in the first half when he had 3 Arsenal players around him, managed to beat all 3, but there was no Chelsea player getting near him to support him or anything, and he had to do it on his own. And he got his goal that his performance deserved. I think him and Mudryk, when he came on, were a couple of the only players that were decent, to be honest. They're direct, they're exciting, and they're 2 positives, I think. But apart from that, the rest were abysmal. I mean, Aubameyang, literally, they talk about how we're crying out for a striker. He gets his go, and literally, you might as well have been playing with 10 because he literally did nothing. He literally could look like he could be asked. And, if the reports are true about Bowley calling Sterling a joke, I mean, recently his performances are a joke, but he's not the only one. There's loads of them are. Um, but yeah, I mean, there's so much talent there, and they look the fact that we say I come on here and I say this every week. They look like they couldn't care. Um, but yeah, it's beyond a joke now. And the quicker the season honestly finishes, the better, because it's just been so bad. It's I'll always support my club and my team and go and watch them, but the fact that you turn up, you're at this point we're only going because we support the badge, the club, and the players, the board, and everything around it are just a joke, and they're just there. And unfortunately, that's the way it is at the moment. Until hopefully in the summer things change. We sell a lot of players that aren't good enough and don't want to be here. And then we can regroup with a new manager and go again. I don't see us being competitive next season. It might take us a couple of seasons to get back up the league table. But hopefully, maybe I'm wrong, and next season just proves that this season's a blip.